Because of you two, I have to forever live what you made me do. Our lives isn't some game for you. It's not like they give a damn for the matter. What the hell is this? It had become clear as soon as you lot entered. You have lied to us countless of times. What makes you think it's any different? It's who they are. That's for you lot to decide. So, what's it gonna be? Meanwhile, at the Preston Ridge Manor in the chambers by the sacred door, Mimi, Frank, Vanessa, Thomas, Gloria, Justin, Nate, Holden, Annie, and Paul are talking. Well, what are you lot waiting for? Go inside and it become clear. You two are the most craziest people I've ever met, and I mean the craziest. The next time you summon us here, make it sound more legit. Actually, it's kinda mock your mother all you want. But we have abilities. You can do us a favor and spare us the drama. Why not I show you lot what I'm talking about? And it's Mimi raised the Cullen sword. Transporting Vanessa, Thomas, Gloria, Justin, Nate, Holden, Annie, and Paul to another place. Not to mention a different time. Where the hell are we? Not in Kansas, that's for sure. Meanwhile, in a hallway, a family called the Thayers are being shown their room, while the other stewards is showing their younger son named Jack Thayer III his room. And as he look around, just as the stewards put the suitcase down, and Jack turned and went and tipped him. And as he turned and walked away, and as Jack turned and hit to his suitcase, just as a maid named Margaret Fleming came in and knocked on the door. And Jack turned and saw who it is. Do you require any assistance, sir? It's fine, thank you. And as Margaret turned and went and left the room, just as Jack went and closed the door and head back to his bed and got his suitcase and went and placed on the bed and began opening it. Meanwhile, on deck B in Karen and Bradley's suite, Karen's looking at herself in the mirror thinking, just as Bradley came in and saw what his wife's doing. You got that look on your face, one that says a lot, and as Karen turned and saw Bradley, do you really think it's a good idea to come? Hey, and as Bradley came to her Kareness, we agreed that this would be a new start for all of us. Yeah, but America? Really, Bradley? Not to worry, it'll be alright. At least the kids are enjoying first class while we and John Jacob Astor have these rooms with our own private promenade. Meanwhile, in deck C in one of the staterooms, Wilma came in holding her daughter's hand along with Brody, who also came in holding their newborn into their rooms. While the stewards came in and put the suitcase on the floor, while Wilma went into the other room holding Lorraine's hand. And as Brody turned and went and tipped the stewardess. Thank you. And as they turned and went and left the room, just as the maid came in and Brody saw. Alice, is it? Yes. Can you see that Lorraine and Trevor get settled? Yes, sir, Alice. Just call me Brody, not sir. Yes, Brody. And as Brody went and handed Trevor over to Alice, and as she turned and headed to the other room, just as Wilma came out and slapped the door and went to where Brody is. Fabulous room, don't you think? Yeah, not as fabulous as you. And as Brody and Wilma begin kissing each other and soon pull away. How on earth did I get to be so lucky? Well, 'cause you are. Anyways, since dinner's only a couple hours away, why don't I show you the reason? And as Brody went and closed the door, and came back to his wife and as they began kissing each other. And as Brody led Wilma towards their bed. Meanwhile, in the hospital area in Isabella's room, Isabella's lying in bed till someone came in and closed the door, and Isabella saw and sat up just as the woman came to where Isabella is. My name is Dr. Shanine Holmes, and I have a reason to why you've been feeling sick. Dr. Holmes, just call me Shanine. Shanine, do you know what's wrong with me? And Isabella came in, and Shanine and Isabella saw just as he closed the door. Did I miss anything? No, you're just in time. Shanine was gonna tell us why I've been sick over the last few days prior to me boarding the ship. Meanwhile, in the gym, Vanessa, Thomas, Gloria, Justin, Nate, Holden, Annie, and Paul are talking. Why did this look so familiar? It's just some ancient gym equipment that hasn't been updated in decades. And as Gloria sent someone Vanessa. What is it? This gym looks exactly like the one on Titanic. Get a grip! There is no way we're on Titanic. It sunk like decades ago, not to mention 100 years ago. In fact, I'm about to prove it to you right now. And as Annie went and got the door, Annie waits. It could be another trap. And as Annie turned and faced the others, all the more reason to find out what it is. And as Annie turned and opened it, and as she stepped out, soon followed by the others, and they're all stunned to what they see. What the hell is going on? And more importantly, why are these people dressed in clothes from the past? And as Holden went to one of the light bulbs and looked below. What is it? And as Holden turned and faced the others. Our sister is right. We're on Titanic. And as Vanessa, Thomas, Gloria, Justin, Nate, Holden, Annie, and Paul all wheeled to what Holden said. And as the scene began opening up, revealing they're all on the RMS Titanic. Meanwhile, at the Preston Ridge Manor in the chambers by the sacred door, Mimi and Frank are talking. And as Mimi went and put the calling sword back up, and as she hit back to where her husband is. You think they'll learn the history of our family the way it is? Of course they will. After all, it seems we lost most of our comrades. It's not over. And as Lucas and Elizabeth came in, and Mimi and Frank saw, if they're exploring their history, then we want in. Look, as noble as it sounds, we need someone on the home front. That's where our parents came in. We all know you're going in after them. You're gonna need all the help you can master. Trust me, I know what I'm talking about. Okay, really? Yeah, at this point, it's pretty much hands on deck. Meanwhile, on April 10, 1912 at 12:45 p.m. on Titanic on Deck C in Liberty and Kyle's room, Kyle's looking at the window. And as Liberty came out of the bathroom, and Kyle turned and saw her. You haven't said much since the rain. I don't want to talk about it. Look, and as Liberty came to her husbandess, it is quite clear on how you feel. Just my mother hasn't been out of the picture for a mere second, and my dad married a woman who's not only practically my age, but also pregnant for the matter. They're wedding receptions in tonight. We're gonna be docking at Sherbrooke, which is in France. I'm aware of where that is. Point is, despite how you feel, we're gonna have to be happy for them. So can you please make an effort to do so? Meanwhile, in Wilma and Brody's room, Wilma and Brody are lying under covers in bed. Wow, that really got me motivated. I'm glad to help. And as Wilma looked at Brody, this is gonna be a new chapter for our family in every way. You know, I was nervous being a mom to our first daughter, and as Brody looked at Wilma, it all worked out in the end. Yeah, it did, in a way. Meanwhile, in the other room, Alice finished changing Trevor's diapers. And as she went and placed him in bed, just as Lorraine came to where Alice is. You look nervous. Nonsense. I'm just happy to be taking care of this precious baby. He has a name, you know. Shouldn't you be getting ready for dinner? That's practically hours from now. We're about to have lunch. I'm just joshing you. Are you certain you know what you're doing? Of course I am. That's why your mother hired me to take care of you and your brother here. Meanwhile, in first class restaurant, Karen and Bradley are talking. So after Ireland tomorrow, we're gonna be sailing about 4 days to America with nothing else. Let's just enjoy every step of the way. I hear to that. Me too. And it's Rita, Adam, Lucy, Joshua, Sheridan, and Michael came. And they all sat with them. How are you lot settling in? These rooms are like heaven on earth. I cannot believe how massive this ship is. Yeah, it's awfully scary when you think about it. Meanwhile, the Therers, namely Mandy and James Thera, are having lunch, just as Jack came to the arm. And Mandy and James saw me. Jack, it is so good for you to join us, my dear. Have a seat. And as Jack went and sat down.
So, what do you think of the ship? It's okay.
I was thinking, after lunch, why not the three of us take a stroll on the deck, you know, to stretch our legs a bit.
Stretch our legs? Yeah. I don't see why not. Besides, it'll make time go by fast. Meanwhile, in Isabella's room, Sinead, Isabella, and Will are talking. You're about to have a life-changing experience. What does that mean?
You're pregnant. Oh my god. I'm having a baby!
Are you certain of this?
Yes. The two of you are about to become parents. You have no idea how long my husband and I wanted this. And it's happening now. Look, I'll leave you two to have words. And as Sinead turned and went,
I left the room, closing the door behind. And as Will and Isabel look at each other,
please tell me this is a dream, that you and I are finally.
I'm afraid it's not. We're finally having our dreams come true. This is incredible. We're gonna start a family.
Yes, we are. And as Will went and began kissing Isabella.
Meanwhile, on the boat deck, Vanessa, Thomas, Gloria, Justin, Nate, Holden, Annie, and Paul are talking. Guys, what are we gonna do? We don't even know what day it is.
It doesn't really matter. Is there a way back?
Maybe there's a way back in the gym.
Holden's right. Our parents brought us here, so maybe there's a way back to the present.
Let's find out. And as they all went back in the gym and saw their parents along with Lucas and Elizabeth.
You seriously got to be kidding me here.
My sister and I are gonna let you all handle whatever this is.
Please excuse us.
And as Elizabeth and Lucas went, I left the room. And as Thomas looked at his parents, I'm not even gonna ask how you two got here, then don't.
Enough! Look, you all want to know the history to why we hate those families? Now you got your wish and your chance to find out.
What exactly are we gonna learn? You know, Paul, your mother and I thought we saw potential in you, but I'm afraid we were wrong.
Let me set you both straight now.
I still hate that family very much with everything I got, but I wouldn't do what you just did.
Okay, since your father and I are here, it's about time we discuss what's gonna happen going forward.
Coming up next on Natural Dreams Revelation. Aren't you the one who was in Cairo with the Henderson baby? I've never been to Cairo. Who you be in this room? Allow me to introduce myself. I'm the guy who's about to make all your dreams come to pass. And introducing, let's get to the room where the bellman came to where Molly is. And as she thinking, I think things are gonna get pretty interesting around here.
Meanwhile, at the Preston Ridge Manor, Linda came in and closed the door. And as she head to the living room and arrived to where Harold and Wayne is, who both saw her. What's going on here? Harold has something he needs to tell us. Does it has to do with everyone disappearing out? Not exactly. You remember the chamber rooms below with all the pots? Yeah, vaguely though. So, what's your news? I'm leaving LA.
Meanwhile, on April 10, 1912 at 8:12 p.m. on Titanic in Isabella and Will's room, Isabella is looking at herself in the mirror.
Just as Will came in from the other room to where she is and saw what she got on. Perfect. And as Isabella turned and saw Will. What is it?
I just don't want to jinx this pregnancy, oi.
We have come a long way to make this happen, and it did.
Yeah, we did, didn't we?
You're nervous telling everyone at dinner tonight, are you? Look, I'm gonna be by your side in case anyone gives you hell. Meanwhile, in Jack Thayer's room, Jack's finished getting dressed. Just as Margaret came in from the other room, and Jack turned and saw the maid. Mrs. Drywall, you know what? You can call me Margaret. Margaret Fleming, more like it. Right. Margaret, how do I look?
Well, a handsome young man, any girl will be lucky to have you in their life.
Maybe I can get that chance on here.
I'm sure you'll do fine. Everything will be ready when you come back from dinner.
And as Jack got some money from his pocket and went and gave it to her. Mr. Thayer, please, call me Jack, and it's no problem. I won't be needing you anymore tonight, though my parents might. Meanwhile, in Mandy and James' room, Manny's finished putting the last earring on while looking in the mirror. And as she went and got her hat and put it on, just as James came in from the bathroom, and she saw him. That stroll this afternoon is exactly what we need to see a view of such sorts. Well, we will have nothing but the ocean after we leave Ireland tomorrow. I know expanding our company into America was the right choice. Yeah, even though we already have one in Philadelphia.
You know what I mean.
I do. Not to mention we have our headquarters in Birmingham, England.
True. We just gotta get this baby up and running.
And I think Los Angeles is the perfect key city to start. That's why I love you so much.
And as James came to where his wife is, and they began kissing each other.
Meanwhile, in the hallway, Gloria and Vanessa are walking while they're talking. Hey, it'll be okay. I don't know. I pretty much lost everything that mattered to me. My husband, my best mate, all in one. No thanks to your brother-in-law, Scott. You're really convinced that was payback for exposing him and Annie? Of course it was. He'd never gotten over it. Meanwhile, on the deck, Alice is holding Trevor, and as she looked at the horizon of the Atlantic, and as she thinking, soon, me life will finally have a purpose again, and this time, I'm gonna make certain it's gonna stick. Alice, come on! And as she continued thinking, I may have lost me own baby, but that doesn't deter me in any way. Alice, it's night.
Trevor needs a supper. You're supposed to be taking care of us. And it seems to me you're not really doing a good job.
Will you stop being so dramatic? And as Alice turned and faced Lorene, and as she went and placed Trevor back in the stroller, and as she stand back up, let's go. And as they both head out while Alice is rolling the stroller, till she arrived at the stairs, just as a maid came from them and saw her. Oh, excuse me, you're good. Have you seen Mr. Astor? Mr. Astor, don't be coy.
Please tell me you do not know the great John Jacob Astor, the richest man in the world? No, it seems I don't. Look, we have to go, so please excuse us. Hold on. I think I know you.
Meanwhile, not too far among the passengers, Madeline is looking at her ring. Just as Karen came to where Madeline is. And how just you doing? And as Madeline saw Karen,
Honestly, a bit nervous. Don't be. It's your wedding night. Yeah, but it feels like I'm the youngest person out of all. Don't be doubt. John Jacob loves you, and that's all what matters. Age is nothing but a number, if you ask me. Can I ask you something? What is it? How did you and your husband manage to uphold a strong marriage? I'll let you in a little secret. It's called love, loyalty, and commitment. Those are the 3 exact ingredients needed to make a marriage stand on top.
meanwhile, let's get to John Jacob Astor and Bradley, who are talking. How's your son taking the marriage? He'll come along. Besides, we got at least 4 days till we reach New York. Don't worry, mate. It'll work itself out. I don't know. The divorce was very messy, and unlike my other children, Kyle and his mom was very close. Ah, I see. Look, this is your wedding. I say enjoy it. Meanwhile, Sheridan, Michael, Rita, and Adam are talking amongst the crowd.
I completely forgotten about the wedding reception tonight.
It's all good. Besides, John Astor seems happily married.
Are you kidding me? He married someone who's practically our age. You gotta look at it like this.
Yeah, age is nothing but a number.
Why, yeah.
I still, on the other hand, wouldn't understand.
Yeah, it seems you're not the only one. And as Sheridan got Michael, and as he pointed in the direction where Liberty and Kyle is, and they both sense Kyle is not happy, and Rita and Adam also saw. Speaking of which, let's get to Liberty and Kyle, who came in the scene and began talking. Hey, I know this is exactly what you want.
Liberty, I'm fine.
Clearly you're not. Will you just leave it? I just want to get this night over with. Fine, I'll leave for now. Look, I'm gonna go mingle amongst the others before we go down for dinner.
Alright. And as Liberty went and began talking to the other ladies while Kyle is watching. Meanwhile, at the grand staircase, Elizabeth is looking at the clock. Just as Lucas came to where she is. You've seen this before. Well, in the movie. And as Elizabeth saw her brother.
Yeah, looking at it closely signifies the realness of it.
I suppose so.
Aren't you worried about Sheridan being back? I told her I have family business to deal with. Now, about what you and Sean and I were never serious at all. Enjoying ourselves, Ari? And as Mimi and Frank came to where they are,
and Elizabeth and Lucas saw them. I thought you two lot would be busy, you know, giving my niece and nephew some history lesson on why, when they can experience it instead. Meanwhile, in the laundry room, Annie's thinking. Just as her brothers Justin and Nate came in, and Annie saw them.
So we really are doing this?
Yeah, it seems we are.
And as Annie has a flashback of Mimi, Frank, Thomas, Vanessa,
Nate, Justin, Gloria, Holden, Paul, and her talking. First thing is, you lot need to blend in. How exactly do you mean by that?
By changing into the clothes everyone is wearing. Besides, you lot are already drawing unnecessary attention to yourselves, one we don't need. And how exactly are we gonna change, seeing we don't have any clothes?
Funny you mentioned that. There's a laundromat on deck D. I happen to know a mate who can help you. Of course you do.
Now, here's where you're gonna be staying, and as Mimi get the papers to Thomas, Vanessa, Justin, Nate,
Gloria, Holden, Paul, and Andy. Remember them. There's one more small matter. Your father and I require you lot to meet us at the gym Saturday night, no later than midnight, for a family emergency meeting. And for those who don't have access to this deck, we'll make certain you'll be there. And as the flashback ends, I really don't see the logic of splitting us up. Vanessa, Gloria, and Thomas has first class, while me and Holden have second. If you ask me, Sturge is fine with me. I just hope we can survive the disaster that's awaiting us in the coming days. Not to worry, sis. We will.
Meanwhile, at the Preston Ridge Manor in the living room, Linda, Wayne, and Harold are talking. I'm sorry. You must have mistaken me for another Harold, Linda. He's not mucking about. We, as in, I want to see what's outside, you know, beyond this city. Look, Harold, I know you want to go on holiday with your new husband and all. It's not just that. I think it's about time I embrace the next chapter of my life. I see. And I take that, and it's Linda look at her husband, that you knew about this as well. Linda, he's been overall loyal for years, and I think it's about time he spreads his wings. Fine. And as Linda look at Harold, really? Just like that? Of course. You've done so much for our family, and I would be a fool to prevent you from doing for what you do. But just so you know, our door's always open. Also, you better keep in touch. I will. And remember, I can still look up any information regarding anything you want. Thank you, Harold. And as Mason came in, and as Linda, Wayne, and Harold saw him, look, I don't want you to blame. Mason, stop. I am proud of you. It's about time you and him have a life of your own. Live it up like the last days of your lives. Meanwhile, on April 10, 1912 at 8:20 p.m. on Titanic at the Grand Staircase, Isabella is looking at the clock. Tyrell came to where she is, and she turned and faced him. How did we get to be so lucky? Because we are in every way. There they are. And as Isabella and Will turned and saw Angela and Darren, who came to where they are. Here he be? Can you believe how massive this ship is? Yeah, from what I heard, it took years to build it. And we'll get to be the ones to settle on it first. Alright, should we adjourn to the dining area? Soon as Mom get here. Look, I know it's been 2 years since we lost our dad and all. Dad would want her and his family to enjoy life best way we can. Meanwhile, outside on the deck, Alice, Lorraine, and the maid are talking. You must have mistaken me for someone else. Really? Because I could have sworn I seen you before. Aren't you the one who was in Cairo with the Henderson baby? I've never been to Cairo. Please excuse me. And as Alice rolled a stroller with Trevor inside with Lorraine beside her away. Just as Miss Miller came to the top of the stairs and watched him walk away in the midst of the crowd. And as she turned and saw Madeline and Karen talking, there they are. And as she head to where they are, and arrived, there you are. Here, you must take this. And as Miss Miller gave Madeline a jacket scarf and wrapped it around her. It's chilly out here. You could catch something, you know. You could never be careful. She's right, you know. And as John, Jacob, Astor, and Bradley approached to where they are, and Karen, Miss Miller, and Madeline saw them. I keep trying to tell my wife. Now, you must eat, seeing that you're eating for two. You know, they say there's this word called vitamins, and you are required to have plenty of them, not only for you, for your baby as well. Not to worry. I will eat plenty, which my husband and his friends will see to it. And how are we feeling? And as Sheridan, Michael, Rita, and Adam came to where they are, just as the maid turned and walked away.
We're doing fine.
So, shall we head to the dining area?
You let go. We'll be right behind you. Remember what I said, Madeline.
And as Karen, Bradley, Sheridan, Michael, Rita, and Adam turned and walked away, while Madeline turned and head to the rail area and see the view, just as her husband came to where she is. And she turned and faced him.
Look, I know this is our wedding reception and all. I just need a brief moment to brace myself as we go back in and hear people gossiping all but let them.
We got the best thing in this world, and nothing is gonna come between us. Meanwhile, let's get to Kyle, who's not too far watching his dad and stepmom embrace, just as his wife Liberty came to where he is. And he saw her, and as she noticed what he's doing, you could go and congratulate them. I already did at their wedding.
Look, we can just go back to our room if you don't get wrong.
I said I'd deal with it, and I will.
And as Mallet and John Jacob Astor came to where they are, and Liberty and Kyle saw them.
You two lot ready for dinner? Meanwhile, inside in the first class dining area, Mandy, James, and Jax came downstairs and saw what's going on in the scene and began heading inward while talking.
This is truly magical, as they say.
And to think if they spared anything. There's the captain. And as Mandy pointed out to Captain Smith, who's talking with the other fellow passengers. And as James and Jack saw what Mandy's talking about.
You think he'll eat us?
You really want that, Mom?
Well, of course I do.
And as they arrived at their table, and as James went and pulled a chair out for his wife.
Amazing.
And as Mandy went and sat down, followed by James and Jack.
Now then, since we have about 4 days till we reach New York, that leaves you, and as Manny looked at Jack, plenty of time to find.
Mom, we've been over this already. I know when the white woman will come along. Don't worry, we trust you.
Your father's right. We just want to be around to spoil our grandchildren in this lifetime.
You're making it sound like I'm going wrong, and your mom's agreeing to move on from this, right?
For now. And as Mandy began drinking her wine.
Meanwhile, at another table where Wilma and Brody arrive. And as they notice barely anyone is there at their table.
We must arrive too early.
Not too early, and as a man came to where they are, and Wilma and Brody turned and saw him. Bruce Ismay. Yeah, we know exactly to who you are.
We wasn't expecting you to sail aboard.
Well, I figured since I'm the chair of governors and all, why not experience firsthand the ship I invested in? We're gonna have more people joining us in the coming minutes.
That's fine by us.
And as Brody went and pulled a chair out for Wilma, and as she sat down, followed by Brody and Bruce Ismay. Meanwhile, on the back deck, Vanessa's looking at the view, just as Gloria came to where she is, and she in turn saw her there.
How are you really? This year has really taken a toll on me, even though it's begun for the matter. Look, I know what you're thinking. We're in 1912 and I'm talking about 2012. I get it. You miss them a lot, do you? Yeah. Even though I spent my beginning years with Owen and I love him for that, Matt was also the best thing that's ever happened to me. And now, not only have I lost him, I lost my best mate Jan, who I fear would never speak to me again. And as Gloria went and hugged Vanessa, and as they in turn hug each other, with Gloria holding Vanessa. Meanwhile, in the gym, Mimi's waiting. Soon, Frank came in with a bottle of champagne, and as he closed the door and went to where Mimi is, who saw him. Everything is going according to plan. It won't be long now. Those fools have no idea of the grimly fate that's heading their way. Soon, they'll be out of our lives for good. Meanwhile, in Elizabeth's room, Elizabeth came in and closed the door. And as she went and got in bed and laid down. While in the hospital area in an empty patient room, Sinead's finished filling out paperwork. Just as Lucas came in and closed the door, and Sinead turned and saw him. Hello, beautiful. Who you be in this room? Allow me to introduce myself. I'm the guy who's about to make all your dreams come to pass. Meanwhile, let's get outside where the Titanic appeared to arrive at Sherwood. More importantly, let's get into the room where the first class port is, as more people came in, along with a mysterious woman who came in to where the host is. And he saw her. You must be the infinite Molly Brown. I cannot believe to be in your presence. You are such a legend from what I heard. Yeah, I've been often told that a lot. And as the mailman came to where they are, and as Molly and the host saw him, right this way, madam. And as Molly in turn handed him the suitcases, which he got, and as he began escorting her through the room. And as Molly thinking, I think things are gonna get pretty interesting around here.
On the next Natural Dreams Revelation, here's the Sabbath forge for us and the Titanic. I am looking forward to spend the rest of my life with the one woman I love. I'm so glad to hear you say that. In a few days, everything you see right now on the ship will be at the bottom of the Atlantic, and we gotta make certain no Graham or Goodchild gets off the ship alive.